Standard 5 in Environmental Science 1. Let us see today's explanation of the lesson Busy at Work are Internal Organs. Let us recall there are some questions which are given. In which cavity of the body is the brain, lungs, heart, and stomach situated? What is its function? And which are the bones that protect it? So, if you are thinking, you must be knowing that where is your brain situated. There is a hard covering which is there on your brain, and that is known as skull. But do you know what is the cavity? Which is a cavity? In which cavity it is? Yes, it is in the cranial cavity. Similarly, your lungs and heart are situated in the thoracic cavity, and your stomach is situated in the abdominal cavity. And the functions of it, brain is the remote control, we can say. So as I will move ahead, I'll explain you. Now see here, this is your brain. Now entire brain, these are the different parts of the brain where I have shown you. Look here. Now this is the prefrontal cortex. A prefrontal cortex means your forehead. You can touch your forehead. So the forehead, where it is inside the brain. Okay. This entire is your skull, but inside your skull is your brain. So these are the different parts of the brain. So this is the front part. That's why it is known as prefrontal cortex near the forehead. So now see here. This is your brain. This is the sideway human figure, and this is the front part. This is your brain. This brain, you can see here, it is in the which cavity? It's in the cranial cavity. Similarly, as I told you, if you will go down, you can see here the stomach, the pink color. This is in the abdominal cavity. Similarly, you can say that your this trachea or the lungs which are there, and in this green color is your heart. So the lungs and the heart are in which cavity? It's in the thoracic cavity. Here you can see a clear picture of the thoracic cavity where I have shown you the lungs, okay, and even the heart. These are in the thoracic cavity. Now in the lungs, this is the real picture of what we have to study today is the respiratory system. Respiration means it's an activity of inhaling the air and exhaling out. Inhalation and exhalation. So sit straight and then imagine, close your eyes, breathe in. In means inhale. Breathe out means exhale. So what are you doing? Breathing in and out. That process is known as respiration together. So inhalation and exhalation together is known as respiration. But how do you do this process? Respiration process takes place. How you inhale? From where you inhale? Yes, you inhale the air from the nose. Then where it goes? It will go into the trachea. Now what is trachea? Trachea is a pipe, wind pipe. So the the air which is inhaled from the nose will go into this windpipe, that is trachea. From the trachea, it will go into your lungs. These are the two lungs. And in the lungs, what are there? Small branches you can see in the lungs. Now these branches are connected. They are connected to small air sacs, air bags. And what are these air bags known as? They are known as alveoli. So what did we study here? That when you inhale air, it goes from the nose into the trachea, that is your windpipe, then into the lungs. And when it goes into the lungs, then there are small branches. These branches are connected to the air bag. So we can say air sacs. And what is the name? Alveoli. Here is the purification of air is done where oxygen and carbon dioxide is separated. Now, as I told you, as I'll explain further, I will tell you where is the heart situated. It's in the thoracic cavity. So now this is a human figure. You should also know the different organs where they are situated. So you can see here, these two are your lungs. Then this is your heart, situated in between your lungs, and heart is situated a little to the left side. Then below the heart is your liver. This is spleen, Cilia. This is your stomach, a bag, stomach. Okay, so whatever food you eat, it goes into your stomach. These are pancreas. These, this is gallbladder. So you know now where is your heart and lungs situated, and your stomach is situated. Now in this diagram, this is just an idea for you which cavity. See, brain is in the cranial cavity. Then you can see this vertebrum is spinal cord. It's in the vertebral cavity. Then your lungs, heart and windpipe, that is trachea, is in the thoracic cavity. Your stomach is in the abdominal cavity. Okay, and there are the others cavity where you can explain, or it will be explained in the further standards. Now process like respiration, digestion go on inside the body continuously with the help of certain organs. Okay, it can be respiration or digestion which goes on inside your body. Not only that, there are other processes also which go on inside the body. We have to study about these diagrams and processes. Now let us take first respiration. We need air, water and food to live. All three things we need. It is necessary for the body to get this continuous supply of oxygen. If the body will not get oxygen, we will not live. Oxygen is very important for a body. Now we get this oxygen from the air through breathing. So when you breathe air through nose, where it goes? Trachea, that is windpipe. From trachea it will go towards your lungs. Okay, and in the lungs, as I told you, there are small branches. These branches, so look at the second diagram. These are the branches and which are connected to the alveoli. Alveoli means, as I told you, air bags, air sacs where oxygen and carbon dioxide is separated. Air is purified over there. In the lungs, you are inhaling air, but purification is done in the lungs, in the alveoli. So now you can see here, this, as I told you, this is your thoracic cavity where your lungs and heart is situated, thoracic cavity. And this is your abdominal cavity where your stomach is there. So in between your thoracic cavity and abdominal cavity, between thoracic and abdominal, can you see this red color thing? What is this sheet? This is a flexible sheet, and the sheet is known as diaphragm. How will you pronounce it? Diaphragm. G is silent over here. But when you write, you have to write a G. Example, you will write Diaphragm. But when you will pronounce, it will be silent. G will be silent. So it will be Diaphragm. That way you will pronounce diaphragm. So this is a flexible sheet which is there between the thoracic cavity and the abdominal cavity. Now, when you breathe in air, when your air goes inside, look here, when the air goes inside, what happens to this diaphragm? What will happen? It goes down, or we can say it flattens. The diaphragm flattens. Air in, diaphragm goes down, it flattens. When you breathe out the air, this air, when you breathe out, the diaphragm will relax. That means it will come back to the position, normal position again. So when the air is in, diaphragm contracts, the flexible sheet. When the air is out, when you breathe out, that is carbon dioxide. So your diaphragm will relax. So this is the process of the diaphragm, or the flexible sheet which is there between the thoracic cavity and the abdominal cavity. So this is what we studied today about the respiratory system, where all the organs come together and work. Nose, trachea, lungs and diaphragm. So these are known as the respiratory organs. Now here, look here, when the outside air reaches, now these are all small air bags, as I told you, alveoli. What happens in the alveoli? You can see over here blood vessels are there. They are blood vessels. So oxygen is being carried here in the blood vessel. It passes through this thin blood vessels around the alveoli. And same time, what is out? Carbon dioxide is brought out by the blood from all body parts, and they enter into the alveoli. So when we exhale, when we throw the air out, exhale, the carbon dioxide is also given out. And this way, there is an exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide gases which takes place in the alveoli. Now, you must be thinking, when you inhale air, that time the dust particles will also go inside our body. Why it is not going? Who is stopping it? Where it is stopped? So look here, this is one diagram where you can see trachea. Okay, these are your lungs. So when you inhale air, it goes into the trachea. Before going into the lungs, what happens in the trachea? Now when you cut your trachea open, when you open your windpipe, when you open the trachea, it looks like this inside lining. This inside lining is fully covered with hair-like structure. All hair-like structure are being lined up over here. What is that hair-like structure known as? Cilia. Cilia. So when air passes in, it carries dust particles, but these dust particles are stuck to this cilia. Can you see this hair-like structure? Here, all the dust particles are stuck, and it stops entering the dust particles in the lungs. And this is how cilia protects. See, your cilia is in your nose also, hair-like. See, you can see small hair in your nose. What are those known as? They are known as cilia. So those hair are down in the windpipe, trachea, that is known as cilia. So cilia stops this dust particle. It is being stuck on the hair, we can say the top part of the hair, apex of the cilia. And what is that dirty particle, sticky particle which is there on the cilia? It is known as mucus. जब आपको सर्दी होती है तो क्या निकलता है, नाक में से क्या निकलता है, वो बोलते हैं उसको म्यूकस. So what is it? Mucus is formed because it is the dust particles are stuck over there to the cilia, hair-like structure. So you have to try this now. Count how many times you breathe in 1 minute just after you have run 100 meters. Next, you have to try. Get someone else to count how many times you breathe in 1 minute while you are asleep. What is the difference in the two counts? So once you know this, in the next session, I will explain you about the next system of a body that is known as the digestive system. Thank you.